Hey everybody, Shrike here. And now that Starseed Asnia Trigger's out, I wanted to make sure that everyone got off on the right foot. And stay till the end for a super secret tip. So let me briefly go over the banner system real quick. There are 4 banners here, each one with their own separate pull currency. This one here doesn't really count, it's friendship points. You get those from sending points and receiving points to your friends. But these are the main ones. The green ticket, the gold ticket, and the purpley ticket. These ones are the plugins. Basically your weapon or light cone or whatever parallel you want to run. And as you can see from the pictures on them, each one is tied to a character, a specific character. Any character can use any plugin, but if a character is using their signature plugin, then a new ultimate is unlocked called a Blossom. It's not inherently stronger than the regular ultimate, but it does something different, so you'll want to make sure that you read those carefully. And over here, you can set a wish list of 5 plugins that you want to have a higher chance of getting. But you want to make sure that you summon some units first so that you know whose plugin you want. Before I go any further, if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. I'm Shrike. I cover gacha games. The extent to which I cover them will largely depend on whether I think it's worth my time or not. So if you like gacha games, or this game in particular, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And speaking of which, you can make a wish list for these as well, the standard banner. The limited banner, you can only wish list a creation or destruction unit. 2 of them out of these 4. But on the standard banner you can do that, as well as 5 from all 3 of these elements. I only have these 4 listed here because these are the only 4 characters besides the destruction and creation units that I'm missing in the whole game. Those are the only ones I don't have. Oh, and speaking of the creation and destruction ones, these elements will drop very rarely. Like, I've done hundreds of pulls, literally hundreds, between this and this. Both have a chance of dropping destruction or creation. And look at all of the... what is it over here? Look at all of the destruction and creation units I have. That was it. Just this one. So yeah, they're very rare, but at least unlike Summoner's War, you don't need an entirely new summoning currency just for light or dark. So that's good. So while normally you would ignore the weapon banner and only use your currency on the limited banner, you actually feel free to summon on the weapon banner, the plugin banner, because it has its own pull currency. And you'll actually probably be using your crystals, whatever these are called, on the standard banner more than the limited, because it has this wish list. So 15 characters, 16, 17 characters that you have a higher chance of getting. You can select your own personalized pool of characters that you're more likely to get. And so it really incentivizes you to use your crystals on the standard banner. But don't ignore the limited banner, because these will always be killer units. Like, the last banner was Echidna, the snake lady, and this one is Claudia. Both very good units. Almost always in my team. And Claudia especially. You want to see how many Claudias I've gotten? She's UR1. So that took a number of dupes of her in order to get. And I think I have another one down here. I need more of her to feed to make her UR2. I don't have enough of that one yet. But still, the first one was her. Second one was her. Both very good. So pull on the limited banners as well. But if you're looking for specific units, this one's the way to go. Set your wish list, pick the characters you like, or the characters that will be meta. And actually, that's something I wanted to go into. I have a recommendation for early game units that will help early game in these 3 elements. And before I get started on that, let me just caveat by saying I've only been playing for a week and a half, the Korean version, so take that for what it's worth. And obviously, put whatever characters you want in there. I'm a firm believer in waifu over meta, but this is just to make the early game a little bit easier. You're very likely to get all the characters in your first month anyway. So, okay. These are either from my own personal experience or from a tier list I found that was very foreign, blurry, and very difficult to read. But you've got here in the red element a really good, 2 really good damage dealers, one ranged, one melee. Both of them I don't have, ironically. And some supports, defense, and another attacker. This one is one of the best damage dealers here in the blue element, and this is, I believe, the best tank in the game. Helona here is an amazing support unit. She's crazy good. She's been in my every team since I started the game. She's amazing. Tier lists have her very high as a support, and she's rated fairly medium to high as a ranged damage dealer. This girl, I see her all the time in Arena. Freya. She's apparently incredible in PvP, though I have her, but I haven't built her yet. This one, Kanata, is pretty good. I haven't built her, but she's highly rated on the tier lists. Here's another tank for if you don't have Idas, or if you need to build 2 teams, Idas for one and her for another. She's a decent backup tank. She's a pretty good damage dealer here, and she's rated very highly as a support on the tier lists. Though I haven't built her myself, I despise the character design, unfortunately, so I refuse to use her. Okay, well, those are my suggestions there for units that will help you early game, get through the content, get you more pulls so that you can round out your roster a bit more. And like I said, by day 30, you're probably going to have all the characters. And you'll get multiple copies of the limited characters too, because it's not like other gacha games. You will get the limited character, probably 10 of them by the time the banner ends. Oh yeah, and as for who to choose for the destruction and creation, these 2, no question. Mia, the one I have, or May, or however you want to pronounce it, she's the worst of these 4, and the one I got, unfortunately. I used her a lot. She underperformed. Frederica is apparently really good, like tier 1, I believe, damage dealer. These ones are a ranged damage dealer and the best healer in the game. This girl, Ryu, I believe, and this is Eradika. Awesome name, by the way, Eradika. I would really like her. She would be my main damage dealer if I got her. But yeah, these are the 2 you want. Best healer in the game, best damage dealer in the game. And if you get her just by chance, don't be upset, she's apparently fantastic too. But now for the super secret tip. Let's switch that. Okay, so if we come over here to this menu and this tab here, this is called level synchronization. And what it does is it picks your top 5 units. And it picks the lowest level of all of them, which right now is 60. And then any unit you put in here, which you can buy more slots for 150 crystals, and it's well worth it. I think it starts you off with 3, but yeah, definitely buy more, because every single one of these will be leveled up to match the lowest of your top 5 units. And as you raise that lowest up, these ones will go up with it. So you'll only ever need to level up to use level materials on 5 units, like ever, which is great because they don't give you a whole lot of leveling material in this game. So it's a great way to be able to use a lot more units, especially since there's levels where you're going to need more than one team, And there's the PvP mode that has 3 teams versus 3 teams. So this will be a good way to get units built for that. Or if you just want to use more units, this is great for that. Oh, and as a bonus, there is another ticket. I've gotten 2 of them in the game so far. They're very rare, and I think they're given away at specific intervals. I think you get one at the beginning of the game, but I didn't know what it was because it was in a different language, so I didn't use it properly. What it is, it's a 10 pull, but it's an SSR selector. It allows you to keep hitting retry and retry and retry until you get the SSR that you want, and then you hit OK. But of course, I just did it once and then hit OK because I couldn't read it. So do not waste these, they are super valuable. The only thing you can't select with them is the creation and destruction characters. But you can get any character from this list. Any of these characters. It just may take 20, 30, 40 rolls, but it's a lot better than re-rolling your entire account. It's essentially re-rolling with the click of a button. It's fantastic. Well, that's it for me. If you're gonna dive into the game and give it a shot, best of luck. I hope my suggestions help some people out. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.